Good morning. Welcome to the Long Live Alternative Parties podcast. Free Press Media Press Inc., an alternative parties books publisher, sponsors this podcast. I'm Andrew Bouchard.
Welcome to Long Live Alternative Parties podcast. Today, friends, we have another exciting guest on this podcast. He is in the state that I live in, the state of Texas, and he is running for an interesting office. His name is Eddie Espinoza. He's with the Green Party, and he's running for the Railroad Commissioner of Texas. So welcome to the podcast, Eddie.
Oh, well, thank you, Andrew, and thank you for having me on your show. And it's really nice to be on with everybody. My name is Eddie Espinoza, and I'm the Green Party candidate for Texas Railroad Commissioner. The name is a bit misleading because it has nothing to do with the railroad. The Texas Railroad Commission is made up of 3 elected commissioners, and the commission regulates the oil and gas industry in the state. Now, because of the high number of wells it oversees, the Railroad Commission is an important oil and gas regulator in the country and also the world because of the high number of wells and pipelines it oversees. Now,
wow.
It's fascinating, but this race will determine the state's oil and gas environmental policies and cleanup efforts. Now, I'm running to bring transparency. We want everything to be transparent. We're running to bring climate science, innovation, accountability, and accessibility to the commission.
Okay.
Now, if it's okay with you, Andrew, I'd just like to mention about my website and
Sure.
And our social media handles.
Sure, go for it.
My website is espinozafortex.com, and that's spelled ESPINOZA, the number 4, TX.com. Now, there on that website, you can find information about our campaign, and you can also find you will also find a link to be able to donate to my campaign. And we are a grassroots, people-powered campaign here in Texas, so contributions from across the state and around the country are important to us. Every dollar counts. And also our social media handle for Twitter or X, Instagram, and Facebook, and also TikTok, those 4 social media platforms, our campaign has at Espinoza for Text. And let me spell that, at ESPINOZA, the number 4, TX. And yes, Andrew. So yeah, thank you for letting me share that. Oh, and
Sure.
One more thing, last thing. For Texans who want to get involved in the Green Party, they should know that our local conventions here in Texas are coming up on March 12th and March 16th. And that's at the precinct and county level. And then our state convention will be April 13th. And just FYI, you should not vote in the Republican or Democratic primary, or basically the corporate party primaries, if you want to participate in the Green nomination by convention process.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you for letting me share that. Andrew.
Sure. That's helpful information. Sometimes you hear about people wanting to vote in the other primaries because they want to affect the race. So, but then if they do that, then they can't vote in the Green Party candidate thing. So that's good.
Right.
Good to know.
Right. Yeah, and let me just mention one more last thing about this Texas Railroad Commissioner's race.
Go for it.
It's only 3 commissioners that kind of oversee and regulate the oil and gas industry. So this race is a great opportunity to take regulatory control away from fossil fuel corporations as we can no longer have the fox looking after the hen house. And we need to give that regulatory control to plugging and cleaning experts and climate scientists. So I want to just stress that to your audience.
Sure. So when we get to client scientists, how do we vet them? How do we find the right ones to help the cause?
Yeah, we would be working with NASA because NASA has the satellites, and I'm sure they already work with the Texas Railroad Commission, but we don't want there to be a little bit of work with NASA. We want NASA and also the NOAA, the National Oceanic National Oceanic Atmospheric, and I'm missing one. NOAA, National Organized, give me just a minute. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, basically the ones that study the oceans and the atmospheres. So we're going to have to we're going to have to work closely with NASA and the NOAA, and also we're going to have to work with plugging oil and gas well specialists, because they are the experts at capping these oil and gas wells that have the potential to contaminate groundwater. So there's two groups of people we need to work with: the NASA and NOAA to help us identify where these methane leaks are, and then we need to work very closely with the plugging and cleaning experts. And then actually there's a third one. We want to work with the oil and gas industry, but we want to make it crystal clear that business as usual will no longer go on. The era of extracting oil and gas from Texas is over, and we need them to shift their attention, whether it's Exxon or Shell, because they're not fossil. They should not be fossil fuel corporations. They should be energy corporations, because what they're giving us is energy. So basically, we want to tell the fossil fuel industry is like, hey, you need to help us clean the mess that the oil and gas industry has caused. So we need help again with capping and cleaning up contaminated sites. And also, once they help us with the capping and cleaning, they need to help us shift to 100% renewables and batteries, because we in the Green Party, we want the economy to do well too, but the economy cannot do well at the expense of our environment.
Sure.
So hope I kind of covered that well.
Yes, that makes sense. So how do you distinguish yourselves from your opponents? I take it from your message that they're the corporate candidates and you're the alternative candidate. How would you say that you distinguish yourself from your opponents?
Right, absolutely. So there's four parties. So you have the Republican candidate, the Democratic candidate, the Green Party candidate, which I'm representing, and then you have the Libertarian candidate. Now, the Republican candidate is Christy Craddock, the incumbent. She's the one that is the commissioner right now. And she basically does not think that global warming is a problem. And she thinks that we can continue business as usual. And right now, there is a very sad situation going on in the Permian Basin in West Texas, where there are 3 aquifers that are being contaminated with wastewater from the oil and gas industry. And it's a catastrophe. And this is not me saying it. These are the people that are working in that area are saying. Matter of fact, somebody also said that it's a mini Chernobyl out there.
Oh no.
So we want to make sure that we clean that mess up. Well, Christy Craddock will not even acknowledge that it's a problem. Then you go to the Democratic candidate. More than likely, it will be Bill Birch. Now, Bill Birch is a plugging and cleaning specialist, and so is the Libertarian candidate, Hawk Dunlap. So Bill Birch, the Democrat, and Hawk Dunlap, the Libertarian, they are experts at cleaning up wells, but they don't have the right policy.
Okay.
Because the Green Party is the only party that wants to ban fracking. We no longer want fracking because we have seen the damages that it does to the environment. I mean, there are places out in the Permian Basin that there is no longer life because of the amount of contamination and how much produced or wastewater they have injected into the ground. I mean, it's causing earthquakes, and it's contaminating soil, and it's contaminating air. So we in the Green Party are supporting a complete ban on fracking. The other three are not. Another thing, we in the Green Party want to transition off of fossil fuel use. The other candidates do not. So as far as what is the best medicine for the ecosystems in Texas, without a doubt, the Green Party has the best prescription. We may not have the money and we don't have the political power, but make no mistake about it, we have the best policies to help the planet heal itself.
Sure. So in addition to this podcast interview, how are you getting the message out about your campaign?
Yeah, we're doing podcast interviews, and we're going to start passing out business cards.
Okay.
And we're also trying to do radio and TV interviews, also text messaging, and trying to get people to pass word of our campaign by word of mouth.
Okay.
Because I mean we don't have money to pay for TV commercials like the two corporate parties do, but we're still going to try to get our message out there.
Sure. And Texas is a big state, so you can't go door to door at everyone's house in Texas, right?
Right, exactly.
Sure. So for this campaign, what's your campaign team like?
Well, right now, because of the limited resources, we have a team of about, I would say, a good 5, and but there's a team that does a little bit of research and tries to help out with the campaign and trying to get the word out.
Okay, that's good. So you're not doing this all by yourself. You have a team behind you.
Yeah, and I take that back. I have the Green Party behind me.
Oh yeah.
So it's not just the people that are in my area, but it's the whole state of Texas has been pitching in.
Okay, good. That's a plus. So
yes.
for this campaign, what was ballot access like? Because you're on the ballot already, right? You already made the ballot, right?
That's
okay, good. So what was that process like?
Well, we had to raise $3,750.
Okay.
And that money is paid to Austin, and then Austin lets okay, you're okay with the Green Party. You have the $3,750 paid, and then they send you a notification or an email letting you know that you will be appearing on the ballot. But I had to make sure and talk to the Green Party and convince them that I was the best candidate.
Oh, okay. So what was the process for getting chosen for this for representing the Green Party for this race? What's the process like?
Well, initially we were going to run for Senate,
Oh,
but there was someone else that was running for the Texas Railroad Commissioner's race, but that person decided not to pursue it.
oh,
So then we start reading about the Texas Railroad Commission, and we start saying, hey, over here with the Texas Railroad Commission, there is an opportunity to get to implement good green policy into the state of Texas. And really, the Green Party is all about protecting ecosystems. So, the Senate race would have involved foreign policy and the positions on abortion and so forth. But over here in this race, with the Texas Railroad Commissioner's race, it's strictly about protecting our groundwater, protecting our environment, and doing what's right for Texas ecosystems.
okay. So it's a perfect fit for what the Green Party stands for.
Right. We have the potential to inspire other states to, hey, you know what? Let's decarbonize the economy. Like, we know that Texas is known for being an oil and gas state, but hey, let's go ahead and stop acting like it's 1920 and let's start acting like 2024 and start using the technology that we have, especially with solar panels and batteries. We can go to 100. I mean, I know it sounds that like it's not doable, but it's very, very doable.
Okay.
To go to 100% renewable and batteries. As a matter of fact, not only is it doable, but it's also cheaper to get your energy from renewables and batteries than from the fossil fuels or from fossil fuels.
Well, it's cheaper.
Yeah, for sure. And it's better for the environment.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
Now, this is an important race because if we let Christy Craddock continue her run, groundwater will continue to be contaminated here in Texas. And here in Texas, we're in the middle of a drought, and we cannot contaminate another gallon of water.
Wow. So it's a very dire situation then, huh?
I would say so. I would say so. And we can't, like, we should have a battle cry in Texas, something along the lines like, remember the aquifers, because it's three of them. And I'll give you the names just so that we know what their names are. The Santa Rosa Aquifer, the Rustler Aquifer, and the Pecos Valley Alluvial Aquifer. And yeah, those are essential to life in that area. So you lose the aquifers, and that area will no longer support life. And that is a sad situation here in Texas.
Okay. So right now. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
And one last thing, like we people that are looking out for the environment are wondering, where is the Environmental Protection Agency from the federal government? Why are they not looking into these problems of groundwater being contaminated?
Sure.
But nobody's looking into it, and there's a lot of us that are trying to get the word out, but it's just not being picked up by the media.
Oh no, let's hope that the tide turns, and sooner rather than later it will get the attention it deserves.
Yes, yes.
So Eddie, at the top of the show, you mentioned the website and you mentioned social media. So would that be the best way if people want to support your campaign, is to go to your website?
Yes, I would say go to my website and also share my social media with your friends.
Okay.
Yeah, so share social media with our social media with your friends. Talk to people, pass the message along by word of mouth, and any amount that you can contribute will be deeply appreciated. Even if it's $20, whatever amount can be pitched in we'll be happy with. Because like I've mentioned to my campaign manager, the best ideas can stand on their own 2 feet. They don't need
Sure.
anything to be propped up. But a little money does help because we're on a
Sure.
shoestring we're on a shoestring budget.
Yes, and the Green Party does not take corporate donations, right? So you have to
No.
rely on everyday people's donations.
Exactly.
Oh, good. So I trust that the citizens of Texas will give you some funds so that you can spread the message as much as it can be spread.
Yes.
All
So
right,
yeah,
Eddie.
oh, go ahead, Andrew.
I'm sorry. No, I cut you off. You can go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, more than anything, we need the votes, and we
Okay.
need every single Texan to show up to vote.
So a good voter turnout would be beneficial for your race, you think, for the Green Party?
For sure.
Okay. So let's answer that call, Texas. Let's answer that call. At election time, let's have a big turnout.
Yeah, we're usually about half of us show up, and then the other half does not show up and doesn't vote.
Yep, that's
But
true.
maybe this is the year that, hey, we get close to 80% voter participation.
Yep, that could be nice.
Yeah, indeed.
Eddie, thank you for coming on the podcast today and talking about your campaign.
Oh, thank you, Andrew, and I very much appreciate the invite and the conversation. I very much enjoyed it.
Sure. We wish you all the
And
best in your campaign and everything else you do in life.
thank you, likewise, and best wishes to your audience, Andrew.
All right. Take care and all the best.
You too, Andrew. Thank you, and we'll stay in touch. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.